Choice Hotels get you more for your money so you can maximize any road trip. Let's get real close to hear the maximum sizzle of Comfort Inn's free hot breakfast. Maximized. Check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
21 plus in present in select states. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I could not be more excited about today's show. It is jam-packed. We had a little bit of breaking news earlier in the morning. That will make the show a little extra spicy. Hey, congratulations. Y'all woke up this morning. Happy for y'all. To my right, LaShawn, Shady, McCoy. What up with a 2-5?
It's a good day.
It is a
black man got a job at Fox.
Bam.
It's a good day.
Bam.
No Shady chain on, huh?
I mean, I got different chains, Chase. You know, I'm going to get you a chain. I know you don't like it. I'm going to get you a chain. I got a chain. And if Shedeur Sanders starts, I'm going to do some more chains.
Please do, because that's expensive. I like that.
Hey, y'all could be watching any show. You're hanging out with us. We do not take it for granted. Hopefully you had a great morning. If you've had a stressful week, hopefully for the next 2 hours, we can be a little bit of your stress reliever. To my left, the quarterback. What up, Q?
Hello.
So you're in the midst of summer. We're full swing. No more games. Now you just
kids are at home. So right when I get home, they're wanting to play.
But your kids aren't watching. Blessing or curse that you got to get home and get right to it.
I'm a dad. So I work an 8-hour day, and then I'm a dad. We had a recital yesterday night for my daughters.
How'd you do?
Crushed it. I was in the dance, actually. It's a daddy-daughter dance. So you literally on
Not going to show us no moves?
No. No. Pick up the daughter, you twirl her around. She's 3. She had the biggest smile on her face. She was in the opening number. It was awesome. We got to go back tonight, though.
I want video for the show tomorrow.
All right, we got
James Jones, Packers, Super Bowl champ receiver. What's the word, Jay?
Man, the word is the word, man.
I see you got out of the pajama set for today's show.
Oh, already started.
That's how we start.
It's a see-through
James is fresh. James.
You know, it is a little see-through, but I do got my Acho wife beater on.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? It ain't, you know.
Your Acho tank top. It's 2025, James Jones. It is
they wife beater no more?
Oh. James, can you stop saying that? Please, I like my job. James.
That's a T-shirt.
That's a
T-shirt, dog. T-shirt.
Hey, y'all, it's about to be a great show. It's about to be a great morning. We got to get things started in Cleveland because some interesting news is coming out of the Browns camp. This is the most polarizing conversation anytime we discuss it. It's the man, Shedeur Sanders. He was taking first-team reps along with so many other quarterbacks at yesterday's OTAs, or he was not taking first-team reps. Either way, the quarterback coach has some interesting things to say about the quarterback competition. That's offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. Take a listen.
At this point, can you realistically see any one of these 4 guys winning this job?
Yeah, you can see them all winning the job, I think, right? And so in terms of the competition, we're so early in the process. We're so early in evaluating it. But yeah, I think, we have a good group of guys that are continuing to push one another. And by the time September rolls around, we'll be ready to go.
Let me clarify. Shedeur Sanders was the only quarterback to not take first-team reps during yesterday's OTAs, but y'all heard the offensive coordinator Tommy Rees right there saying, look, it's anybody's job. Y'all know if we're talking Shedeur Sanders on this show, buckle up, put your seatbelts on, 10-2, eyes on the road, because it might get spicy. Shady McCoy, you like Shedeur's chances to start week 1?
I didn't at first. Now I do. They say, Shady, how you change so fast? What you don't know? Somebody told you something? You know something? Yes, I do. My shady sources.
Shady sources.
Listen, everybody can't have this privilege to know players.
That's true.
Right? Not a lot of bad ones, but a lot of good ones.
True.
A lot of coaches. I know some bad ones, I know some good ones. So, and the whispers over there is basically, hey, man, he looks like the best quarterback here. He's young, you got to learn the experience part. 5th rounder, so we got to make him earn it. But the truth is, he's the best quarterback. And this is not just words from coaches or scouts over there. This is from some players. And I mean key players. Players that actually going to play this year and put some real production up. And I think if you look at Shedeur Sanders, man, it's like all these other players, respectfully, I know what they're going to give me. Joe Flacco, I see what you did last year. I know what you kind of gonna get. Right? Kenny Pickett. I love Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh guy. I got an idea kind of what he's gonna give me. Dylan Gabriel, I mean, he should give me some great reps for the scout team going, getting the defense ready for the season.
Yep.
But Shedeur, we don't know. We don't know what he got for us. You know why? He got a big ceiling. You got a first-round quarterback in the 5th round. Yeah. That's a blessing. So I think they should take advantage of it. Everybody I'm hearing over here talking to, they saying that look like he's the best quarterback. And if he plays well, it should be a no-brainer.
The reason I'm so confused by what Tommy Rees is saying, not confused at all by what Shady's saying, is in the NFL, there are 2 primary P's, and I hope at home y'all remember these 2 P's that I would suggest dictate everything in regards to this quarterback competition. The first one is politics. That's the first P that has to do with this conversation. The second one is posturing. Politics and posturing. I will address the first one first. Politics. Even if Shedeur is the most talented quarterback, it might be politics that keep him from starting week 1. What might those politics be? Hey, we've invested $4 million into Joe Flacco. Politic number 1. Hey, we traded for Kenny Pickett. Politic number 2. Hey, we drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round and Shedeur in the 5th round. Politic number 3. Even if Shedeur is better, there are politics that might keep him from starting week 1. I'll tell on myself. I was cut by the Philadelphia Eagles after training camp in 2014, which means I was not the backup linebacker. I was the 3rd-string linebacker. I was put on practice squad. This is a true story. Go back and fact check it. After week 1 of 2014, the starting linebacker, either Michael Kendricks or D'Amico Ryans, got hurt. I got elevated to start week 2. But how in the world did I get elevated to start week 2? I should have been elevated, Chase, Shady, James Jones. I should have been elevated to a backup role. I shouldn't have gone from practice squad all the way to starting. What happened to the backup? Why didn't the backup start? Unless the backup got kept over me because of politics. Backup Casey Matthews, played at Oregon. Chip Kelly, head coach at Eagles, formerly coaching at Oregon. Politics. The second thing is posturing. Posturing. Is Tommy Rees saying this because it's true? Or is Tommy Rees saying this because he's trying to posture? I think of posturing that occurred during the NFL draft. I'll move quickly so I don't bore you. Number 1, Brian Callahan, head coach for the Tennessee Titans. He said, I think there's a short list between Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, Abdul Carter for players that are supposed to go number 1 to me. Lies. Travis Hunter, he went number 2, if I'm not mistaken. Abdul Carter, he went number 3. Cam Ward, he went number 1. But Shedeur Sanders, he didn't go till the 5th round, posturing. Let's move forward. Mike Tomlin, he said, there's a toughness that doesn't get talked about enough. There's a competitive spirit that doesn't get talked about enough. The intangibles, that's what's impressive to me. But Mike Tomlin, you need a quarterback. Every day we have a conversation about a quarterback, and you could have drafted Shedeur Sanders all the way through the 5th round. Posturing. Number 3, Jerry Jones, another decision maker. Well, I don't want to make an evaluation. We thought when we evaluated him, Shedeur Sanders, extremely high in the draft. But Jerry Jones, you could have drafted Shedeur Sanders, and you didn't. Posturing, 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 politics and posturing. So it's hard for me to take this seriously when I know that politics exists in the NFL and I know posturing exists in the NFL, and I'm not sure what might be at play in this situation.
Well said. Well said. Well done, brother.
That was
well done.
Very well
That's
said.
Well said.
Very well thought out. And look, the one thing that I said to start my answer, and we did not prep it, I said, he's being very politically correct. Tommy Rees did. Hey, all 4 of them can do it. They came out and they said, hey, there is a competition between all 4 of these guys, which I like. I think it's fair to all 4. Why not? If you don't have one starter, you don't know. You know, it could be Shedeur. You have 5 quarterbacks under contract right now. We know Deshaun Watson's probably not going to play this year. But for me, I do not like Shedeur Sanders' chances to start week 1. He hasn't even taken any first-team reps yet. It's June 5th. Now, if we have this conversation in training camp, and after 2 or 3 preseason games, he has clearly had a preseason like Dak Prescott did in 2016, or he's played some stuff on the field, yeah, we can talk about it. And the reason I don't like Shedeur Sanders to start week 1, because it sounds crazy to me, and we did some stat checking, and it is crazy, because history would tell you there's only one quarterback in the history of the NFL to be drafted in the 5th round or later and start week 1 as a rookie. One. Can anyone tell me who it is? Probably not.
Gardner Minshew?
Randy Hedberg in 1977.
Was he a first-round talent?
Good guess, though. I don't know. I have never heard of Randy Hedberg.
Was he a first-round talent?
That's when it was 99 rounds back then.
I know. But for me, it's like, what makes Shedeur so much more special than those guys? Because you got a guy like Tom Brady, Brock Purdy, Tony Romo, Mark Bonnell, Mark Bolger, Matt Hasselbeck, Rich Gann. All these had really They didn't start their week 1, and that's fine. Just to say I don't like Shedeur Sanders' chances to start week 1, I like his chances to start this year. In fact, I think it's probably the best spot for Shedeur to end up other than Pittsburgh, because there's a great offensive scheme with two-time Coach of the Year Kevin Stefanski. He has a run game. If you've been listening to their offensive lineman talk, they're going to be a running-first football team. And they should with their quarterbacks that they have. And there's a path to play this year for Shedeur. So I eventually think he should start. Week 1, though, in my opinion, it's out of the question.
So you think eventually he's going to start?
Oh, I think he should, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's some other reasons we'll get into next block on why I think that. But yeah, he should.
Where you at, Jay?
Week 1, chance. All right, I circled chance.
Chance.
There's absolutely a chance. Shady sources.
Just told you.
JJ sources.
Oh, you got
No player.
JJ sources.
You got JJ sources. We need some
JJ
graphics
sources.
up in
I
here.
guess they know shady sources because they say in the same.
Are they the same source?
They might be in the same locker room.
They're not the
building
same
over
source.
there.
Might
They ain't
be in the same
source.
huddle.
They might be in the same huddle, dog.
I'll give it too
You know
much
what
now.
I'm saying? But what I am hearing is that the talent is jumping off the screen at people. He's the most talented quarterback out there. He's the most anticipated quarterback out there, throwing the ball with anticipation, getting the ball out of his hands. They say he is learning the playbook extremely well. And if you're throwing the ball with anticipations, that's letting me know that you're grasping the playbook extremely well because you know where you're going with the ball and you're able to get this ball out your hands. There's absolutely a chance he could start week 1. But it comes down to Shedeur. And it comes down to the games. Chase said it a little bit, but it comes down to the preseason games. And I think that's what this competition is going to come down to. Who plays the best in the preseason games? This quarterback competition is totally different than any other quarterback competition we've ever seen. Number 1, it's not no bona fide starter. Number 2, it's not no proven guy in the National Football League in there right now. You can say Joe Flacco's career has been good, but the last 3 years, Joe Flacco has not been good as a proven starter. So this quarterback competition is wide open. And then the kid in the 5th round that was taken, we know he never should have even been in the 5th round. This is not a regular 5th round quarterback. So if Shedeur can get into the preseason and ball out, he is absolutely going to have a chance to start week 1. My coach always said, it is a lot of politics, and it is a lot of the 2 Ps in the National Football League. But one thing you do not deny, and we have never seen denied, is when you turn that tape on and a player balling, you ain't never seen him not on the field.
Be film-based.
You've always seen coaches make ways to put him on the field. Hey, man, I know we paying 2 receivers a whole lot of money. 3 wide this week. That's what we're going, because we got to put him on the field. If Shedeur shows he's like that, they're going to have to play him. They're going to have to start him week 1. We've seen it with Dak. We've seen it with Rush. Just too much to keep on covering your eyes and saying we got this quarterback because he's balling. So if he handles his business on the field, he's going to put a lot of pressure on him to start week 1.
Even if he does have a Dak like preseason, like we were talking about, right, and shows and proves, I just don't know if it's enough to jump a 3rd-round pick and then to jump a 1st-round pick and a Super Bowl MVP in one preseason.
But it also depends on how they play.
Yeah, I mean,
that was going to be my question.
Well,
like,
not with Flacco, because he even said we're not going to play Flacco a lot. We know what he is.
Question for y'all is this: Does it have to be clear? Right? Like, you know what it is sometimes they say you got to be twice as good to be equal. Sometimes you have to make it abundantly clear that it's not a quarterback competition to get the job, especially, James, I think your coach told you this. You shared this story before. You went up to your coach, said, hey, coach, what I got to do to get on this field? I'm better than some of these guys. He said, don't make it close.
Yeah.
Don't make it close. Yeah. At the point in which Shedeur is the 4th person on the depth chart right now, is it not just that Shedeur has to be better than all those guys, of which we would all suggest that he has the potential to be if he's not already, some up here would suggest. Does he have to make it clear that he's significantly better than all those guys?
Absolutely.
I think so, without a doubt. I mean, that's exactly what I was saying with James. It's like, regardless of what you think about Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett was a 1st-round pick. He's had some good games. You sort of know what you're getting out of him, but Stefanski's never had him. They traded for him for a reason. And then you look at Joe Flacco. While I agree with James, he hasn't played well. There's been some spurts where you're like, okay, like he could do it. And then you have Dylan Gabriel, who they drafted, and politics or not, they drafted him before Shedeur. And then you have Shedeur. So Shedeur, in my opinion, that's why I just think it's just so unrealistic for me personally, for a guy, whoever it is, to jump those odds in 4 weeks of preseason play, when in reality, you're not really playing against the 1s in preseason. You're playing against the 2s and 3s, so you better look good, right? And that's sort of what I dealt with when I was a backup. They were like, Chase, you're not playing against 1s. Yeah, but I'm torching these 2s and 3s. So, like, give me, you know what I mean? It's like, so that's how it has to sort of feel and look.
Yeah. It can't be close because just like my coach told me, if it's close, you're not starting. Period. So if Shedeur's the 5th round pick, we know his back's against the wall, man. He got an uphill climb. So if it's close, they're going to say, but we took him in the 3rd round, so we're going to toss him in there first. But we traded for him, and he's a 1st round. We're going to toss him in there. But he is a vet. So they're going to come up with any and every excuse if it's close. Because if it's close, that means it's going to be some people like Shady, like, I think Shedeur won it. I think Dylan Gabriel won it. No. Shedeur the best one out there, and if you turn on the preseason, we all see it. It can't be close.
I just want to, because I'm listening, right? Y'all telling me that if it's a close race between an old veteran player, been there for years.
But Pickett ain't old. I'm more on Pickett. I'm not Flacco.
Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to get, because I just want to know what we talking about. Because y'all got him at the 4th, he's the 4th depth chart, right? He's the 4th guy.
That's what they got him.
All I'm saying is, so you tell me if this race is close, all the quarterbacks look close, and you got a veteran dude that's been there for years, Flacco.
I think it's going to be the
Kenny
odd man
Pickett,
out.
he's been okay, right?
I think that's
and then the 5th round draft pick, Shedeur. Why wouldn't I start? If it's so close, why wouldn't I start him? Who?
And a 3rd round pick.
Okay, we'll throw him in there.
Well, he's in the quarterback room. Don't disrespect him.
I'm not, but we'll throw him in there we'll throw him in there because he got jersey. Okay, cool. So him in there, right? So if all these are so close, why wouldn't I start Shedeur? Because my thing is, Flacco, his time is numbered. Eventually, he's going to retire.
He's
okay.
the odd man out.
And then Kenny Pickett, if you're the 1st rounder and you just that 3rd, and then you're so close to the 5th rounder, why wouldn't I start the rookie and let him gradually grow and learn and all that on the run?
Because I think if it's close and if you start a rookie, it's going to be the 3rd round rookie you're going to start. That's the politics of it,
bro, we can we just talk
not only that, another politics of it is you got a dude you traded for that was a 1st rounder. You go and give him an opportunity to play if it's...
When you say politics,
yeah,
the fans want Shedeur to start.
Some fans
if he
do.
balls out, yeah.
Come on, man. They got what are we talking? He got the #1 jersey set out of all the rookies, correct? He went 5th round. Yeah. You listening to me this morning? He went 5th round. He has the #1 draft jersey selling out of all the draft picks. So politics, we talk politics, right? We talk about ownerships and all. We talk about money now. So if it's so close, why wouldn't I start a young rookie that he's so close to these vets and 1st rounders? Eventually he's gonna get better, right? His floor, he's close to y'all. That's one. 2 is the politics part of it. If I'm the owner, he don't even know. Why wouldn't he start him?
There's 2 trains of thought to Shady's point. I have 3 things written down. Oftentimes, who dictates the starting quarterback, who dictates the starter, but primarily a quarterback is one of 3 people. Either the head coach, either the general manager, or the owner.
Yeah.
It's one of those 3 people.
Maybe.
Yeah, exactly right. Combination. To Shady's point, if the owner is in control, I would suggest if it's close, throw Shedeur out there. Hey, we're not going to win a ton of games. Let's get more excitement. Let's get more buzz. Let's sell more jerseys. If the general manager is calling a shot, Gabriel's out there.
Yeah,
because I drafted Gabriel in the 3rd round. Y'all not about to make me look stupid. You're not about to start a 5th round pick over a 3rd round pick. Then why they going to be asking, why'd you draft him in the 3rd round and draft him in the 5th round?
Why'd you waste a draft pick?
Why'd you waste a draft pick?
Yeah.
So if it's the owner making the decision, I'm with Shady wholeheartedly. Politics. In America, we got several political parties, so let's talk about the political parties in football. One political party, if it's the owner, is going to be Shedeur, like Shady's saying. Yeah. If it's the general manager, it's going to be Dylan Gabriel or Kenny Pickett, to James Jones's point, because I traded a 5th round pick for Pickett, or I drafted Gabriel. If it's the head coach, I believe it will be the best player or Flacco, the one he trusts the most. The one he's like, hey, I just need to go win a game. Flacco's helped me win games. Flacco's made me coach of the year. I have a winning record with Flacco. It's going to be Flacco, though. I'm not disregarding Shady's point by any stretch of the imagination. There's several political parties in football like there are in life. I'm with James, however. I don't think it can be close.
Really quick, though. So let's say, because this is going to be a tough decision for the Browns, especially if Shedeur makes it hard on them and he plays well. Let's say all 3 of them in the room.
Ooh. All 3 what? Oh, all 3 in the head coach, GM, owner?
Like we here at this table. Hey, fellas, what should we do? We all watch the preseason. It's a close race.
I would go Shedeur.
Go Shedeur.
The most hyped up player in the room, the fans' favorite, right? And the youngest guy in the room. Why, if we're all so close, why wouldn't I start him? You see what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. I don't think it's going to be that close. The sample size is too small of a run for Shedeur to show what he has and to get a fair shot. He's already starting from behind. I think that's what we're like. That's just the truth. You can say that, you know, the jersey sales are great and the fans want. I agree with all that, but it's just too small of a sample size. Guys, there's been 1 quarterback in NFL history, 5th round or later, to start week 1. It just doesn't happen because there's too much there's not enough time.
There's a bunch of luck just in the way.
You know what I mean?
I'm confused though, because on one hand, you come off like, he's going to be the last. You basically say you're going to be the last guy in the depth chart. That's what you feel for real. You feel like that, right?
I think it would be really good if he was able to move up to the second option. That would be outstanding in week. What we're talking.
I'm gonna let it go because I'm just confused.
The question here is week 1. What are you confused about?
Because like on one end, it's like you talk as if he might have a shot. Then the other time we talk to you, it's like, well, he don't only have a shot.
Shady,
so I'm trying to figure out which.
And I'm going to tell you, the question here is week 1. I don't think he has any possible way of starting week 1. Where I think he has a chance is let the season progress. Let him get more practice reps. Understand that if you're not going to win any games with these other guys, throw him out there week 10 or week 11. See what he has. The Browns have 2 first-round picks next year. They're clearly eyeing a quarterback. That's clearly why they traded the pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars to have a lot of picks for that. And then you do that. I don't think he's even remotely close to being ready right now. The question says week 1.
And that's cool, but what if he's the best quarterback? Because
that's easy.
But I'm saying is that every reports that I know, coaches and players include that play on the same squad, right? James, you got to say.
No doubt.
If he's the best quarterback.
If he shows he's the best, it's not a conversation.
But I say, let's say if it's close. If it's close,
that's when the conversation comes in, Shady.
But think about this, though. How are you guys so confident to have these other guys start? If you're close to a 5th round,
I'm not saying
nobody's confident.
Nobody's confident.
Nobody's confident up here. Nobody up here confident. None of us really know.
They don't even know.
But even week 1, what I'm saying is, how in the hell my starting quarterback that I'm going to go out there and roll with is having a close battle with a 5th round draft pick?
But if
y'all, real quick, this is what I'm saying. Do you feel comfortable with? I'm gonna make you the starter, but you're having a super close competition battle with my 5th rounder.
But the thing is, Shady, is they don't have a starter. But they have people in mind on the depth chart of who they think is going to go out there
I just
first.
feel like if I'm out there playing, right?
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be no question. If I'm gonna start, if I gotta be if I'm going a close battle with a 5th round running back.
So then let me ask you, but let me ask you.
You're talking different stuff though, because the type of player you were. We're talking all these dudes.
And that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, the 5th rounder ain't a regular 5th rounder because we won't even have this conversation. My man Chase has talked about all these stats for all these years, all these old people back in the day. It's never been done one time, right? So what I'm saying is, a 5th rounder really is a 1st rounder. Y'all just drafted because y'all want to prove a point to him. If you got a 1st round draft pick that you got in the 5th. Why won't you let him?
Why do we keep saying
here's my question though.
Here's
Here's my question though, and it's for everybody. It's if Shedeur currently didn't take a first-team rep.
That means he's behind the 8 ball already.
Right.
On the depth chart, not by the play.
Sure, by the depth chart. How can he prove, like, the tough part for me, 2-5, is going to be how he's going to be able to prove it. Because if he goes in the 3-4 preseason games and he's whooping up the 3rd and 4th stringers, he's still whooping up 3rd and 4th stringers. I led the preseason in tackles, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, I led the preseason in tackles in 2013. But I was doing it against 2nd and 3rd stringers. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Acho led the whole preseason. Everybody in all the preseason in the NFL led in tackles. But Acho, you ain't do it against starters. Acho, I didn't have enough time to prove, like, oh, I could do this against starters too.
But this is when the situation is hard, because now that is when you have to kick in how popular Shedeur is.
Yes.
If Emmanuel Acho's jersey was the #1 selling Philadelphia Eagles jersey,
you put him out there
immediately. Yep. All the trackers and all that would be Emmanuel Acho. 10 tackles this game. 10 tackles. He got the most tackles in the preseason. You would have trotted out there if you were Shedeur. So that's the difference in this thing.
But now let's talk about the
And he was playing behind D'Amico Ryans. You wasn't starting no matter how good you played.
Yes.
These guys, look at us in this room. You feel you around a whole bunch of backups. It's like we having a whole starter conversation with a whole bunch of backups. It's like he could start.
Agreed.
Ain't nobody in front of him that's that good.
This is where I think the politics
is crazy.
The 5th rounder, he has to prove it every step of the way to start. And I don't think there's a big enough sample size for him to prove enough to start week 1.
But I don't think
if he was a 3rd or 2nd round pick, he'd be like, oh, if it's close, he's starting. But he's 4th right now. Whether we like it or not.
But that's why you don't see it how we see it. That's all right, because you don't think he's gonna make the team for real, right? You don't think he's gonna make the team, so you can't think he's gonna start.
Putting words in my mouth.
You think he makes the team?
Yes, he makes the team. Why would
Shedeur balls?
When have I ever said that?
So we talked about this. You don't think
we all talked about it at first, and stuff has changed. And I've been on this for 3 weeks, Shady. Don't put words in my mouth, dog.
So who's not gonna get cut?
Probably one of the vets. I don't think they keep both bets.
All right. Okay, well, listen, I'm happy we agreed. Now you on this side. I'm cool with that. I want all my brothers to come over here on this side.
I'm not on that side because you think he's starting week 1. I'm on this side. I never said he was going to start.
I do
But you thought he was going to get cut.
James,
I
get in
do
here.
disagree with y'all about going up against the threes and stuff, though.
Elaborate.
Because no starters really play in the preseason. Who was Russ going against? The 2s and the 3s. Who was that going against? Starters don't play in the preseason. The 2s and the 3s when he was out there. Them dudes balled. And their name was not Shedeur Sanders.
Dak won it because of injury.
If he goes out there and he balls whoever he going against, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, he is going to put pressure on them boys to start.
Pressure's, yeah.
You
Pressure's
cannot
different.
sit here and
But
say.
you snuck, hold on, James. You snuck that word pressure in
Okay,
there.
so
It's
take
different.
pressure out. He's going to start. You're not going to watch this young fella ball.
Beat down some 4s and start.
But what I'm saying is,
down some cats from Divine
you're not
University.
going to watch him. You're not going to watch him ball harder than these other quarterbacks, and then you're going to come in and say it was against the 2s and the 3s, and that's who you gave him reps against. It is going to be hard for you to tell this Brown fan base and this organization that, there's 2s and the 3s Shedeur was going against.
There's also 3
and he balled.
games. There's also 3 games.
I understand what
James.
you're saying.
And if Shedeur legitimately plays 4 quarters in 3 games, that will be a lot of reps for him because they got to get Dylan. They got to get Kenny or Joe ready.
Here's what I think is best case scenario, because you know how it goes. He'll play against the 2s and the 3s, but then he'll also get reps against the 1s. You feel me? In preseason game 2 or game 3, best case scenario. Because what it was for me is like, I was playing against 2s and 3s, but then I would also be, hey, Acho, go out there, hey, you're starting this game against the Colts. And it's Andrew Luck out there. It's they had their other start. Maybe
That's what the Browns
Garcon
have
was there
told
at
us
the
he's going to
time.
get 1.
Correct. And you go get a couple reps, quarter or 2 against the 1s, and then
and you're going to get 10 throws. Is 10 throws enough to that's what I'm saying. I just don't think there's a sample size for week 1.
We will see.
3 games.
We will. Here's what I do know that I don't know at all. Hey, when we return, are the Pacers being overlooked? That is next in the facility. No chance the Pacers are being given to win the NBA Finals, and it all starts tonight. Are they being overlooked? We got to discuss it. Don't forget, check us out every day, Fox Sports Channel, Sirius. NBA Finals, it all starts tonight. Ain't this what you've been waiting for, viewers at home? You ready? We all are. The Pacers, the question though is, are they? They're coming in as gigantic underdogs, 9.5-point dogs. Haven't seen a margin like that in years. Here's Halliburton discussing it.
They're a great team. They're historically great on both sides of the ball. They have the MVP. I mean, there's so many different things that you could name down the list of why they are so great at what they do and why they're such a great team. And, we know that this is a great team, and I wouldn't want to, if we were to win a championship, I don't want to win any other way. I don't want to go around or go over. I want to go through. You want to go through the best team. You want to go through the best challenge. So this is the best challenge.
I want to go through. I don't want to go around. I don't want to go under. James Jones, are the Pacers being overlooked?
No, man. They're not being overlooked. And I thought about this because at first I'm like, sure, yeah, they're being overlooked. You know what I mean? They in the finals too. They got good players too. OKC's just like that, dog. And I keep telling myself, I'm just putting respect on OKC with what OKC has done. Regular season and playoffs included, they have lost 18 games. And you mean to tell me that this Pacers team is going to beat them 4 times out of 7? And during the season, they played over 30 Eastern Conference teams.
They lost one.
They lost 1 game to the best team in the Eastern Conference in the regular season, and that's the Cavs. So, like I said, if this was football and it was 1 game, I would say you can't overlook them for this 1 game because anything can happen. But you're talking about a series of 4 games, man, and I can't say they're being overlooked, man, because I just believe the OKC Thunder are just that much better than them on the offensive side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball, from the star power. They're just better than them. So they're not being overlooked, man. They just outnumbered. And it happens like that sometimes. Emmanuel Acho and LaShawn McCoy, it happens like that.
I mean, this is a better team. Ain't no overlooking. Look, it's just we know the outcome. We know the results. And as I think about this game, man, and this series, we don't look at the OKC Thunder like one of the best teams of all time.
That's true.
But
we should.
because it's the names, right? When I talk about you with that Lakers team, right, where they lost one time in the whole playoffs to the Sixers in the finals, right? It was okay because of how the players they had. They were so good, right? The Warriors, when they had that long run, like, they were so good. They had the Kevin Durant era. He came in there, and they really wasn't losing the playoffs, right? And it's like we can't see that because when we look at this Thunder's team, it's not the names that ring the bells. But, bro, they are really, really good. They barely lost this season. They barely lost to the Eastern Conference side. They really don't lose. In this playoff series, in this finals, they're not going to lose.
Can I try to convince y'all?
Chitty, bang, bang.
Can I try? Viewers at home, you.
Because I'm looking at some of these numbers.
Shady, James, can I try to convince y'all? James, Shady, who was that one team that you said in the Eastern Conference that the Thunder lost to? I forgot who was. Who was it? It was one team. You said they went 29-1, and the Thunder lost.
They won the Pacers.
They lost to the Cavs.
They won the Pacers.
Yeah, they won the Pacers.
No.
They lost to the Cavs.
Now,
the healthy Cavs.
if I'm not mistaken, the Pacers played the Cavs in the playoffs.
Hurt Cavs.
No, the hurt Cavs they did.
They played the Cavs in the playoffs,
Yes, they
and
did.
they beat them.
They did beat the Cavs.
In a 7-game series.
Yes.
Here's what's fascinating to me, though. The Pacers were 8.5-point underdogs versus the Cavs in that series, game one. They're 9.5-point underdogs versus the Thunder. The Pacers were minus 500 in that series versus the Cavs. The Pacers are minus 650 in this series versus the Thunder. The reason I'm suggesting the Pacers are being overlooked, not because I don't agree with Shady. It's not because I don't agree with James. Viewers at home, it's not because I don't agree with you. It's because of this. The Pacers shouldn't be here right now anyway.
Yeah.
The Cavs were hurt. I know the Cavs team well. I bet on them a lot. The Cavs were hurt. James is right. Shady's right. Darius Garland, he was banged up the entirety of that series. Evan Mobley, he missed the game. Daniil Hunter plays for the Vikings. Daniel Hunter plays for the Cavs. He was hurt during the course of that series. He missed the game. Ty Jerome completely went MIA. I get all of that. But what I'm suggesting to Shady, what I'm suggesting to James, viewers, what I'm suggesting to you is they shouldn't be here no way. Wasn't supposed to make it past 25. They weren't supposed to be here no way. So with that being said, is there not a chance, Shady? Is not a chance, James? Both teams are 12-4. So Pacers haven't lost back-to-back games since March 10th. Yeah. Is there not a chance?
So let's just, because Shady brought up a good point too, because it's not a lot of like star power, big names on the OKC. Mm-hmm. So let's say that this was the 2017 Warriors playing the Indiana Pacers. And they're telling you, Emmanuel Acho, the Warriors, including playoffs, have 60 wins by double digits, which means it ain't even a game. They 8-1 at the crib in the playoffs. It ain't even really a game. You would probably say they have no chance, the Pacers, right?
Yes, but I would retort with this. I'd say the Pacers have 4 victories this postseason alone, coming back from down 17. So you give me your double-digit victories.
Not against.
I say there's no lead that is too large.
But not against the Warriors team in 2017. They wouldn't do that. No. So this OKC Thunder team in 2025, they have 61 double-digit wins, including the playoffs, which means these good teams that they playing, they beating them down, Acho.
You're not wrong, but let me respond, right? Because, again, Shady and James are right. I'm agreeing with Shady and James. But if I were trying to suggest the opposite for Pacers fans, for you at home, to try to make this a series, I would say, remember, the Eastern Conference version of the Thunder was the Cavs, both completely inexperienced teams. You got a versatile big, a stretch big in Mobley, a stretch big in Chet. You got a big that can dominate the paint in Hartenstein, a big that can dominate the paint in Jared Allen. You got a first-team All-NBA scorer in Shea. You got a first-team All-NBA scorer in Spidey Mitchell. You got a really good number 2 in J-Dub. You got a really good number 2 in Darius Garland. You got a deep bench in Ty Jerome and Max Strus when the team is healthy. You got a deep bench in Isaiah Joe and Case and Wallace. If I were trying to suppose an opposite, one team won 67 games. I think another team won 64 games. One team was number 1 in the West. One team was number 1 in the East. One team was 9.5-point favorites. One team was 8.5-point favorites. One team had a 600 spread. One team had a 500 spread. If I'm trying to dispute y'all, I would just say, but what about all that?
And what I would say to you is, if you take Chet off of OKC and you take K-Dub off of OKC, then I give them a chance, because that was the Cavs team. You took Garland off the team and you took Mobley. The 2 of their best players, they didn't play. You know, until game 3. Until game 3. They missed the first 2 games, and then they came back game 3. So You was down 0-2 going on the road. Those two. So if you eliminate them two of OKC, then I'm with you.
Yeah. But
with them two on the court,
because of the health of the Thunder.
Man. Come on, man. It's a wrap. And I hope you're right. I hope Shady's wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I want a series. I want this to go 6, 7 games. I do. I want more basketball. I don't want it over quick.
The only other thought is there a world, to Shady's point, trying to not advocate for the devil to his point, the devil's advocate, but is there a world where the Thunder aren't as good as we think? And the reason I say that is, right, just as their world. I think they are. But the reason I say that is the Grizzlies weren't a great basketball team. We all know the Grizzlies weren't a great basketball team. Thunder beat the brakes off them. They did. Then the Thunder got to play the Nuggets. Nuggets, a really good basketball team. Really good basketball team. And obviously we know that was a great series. I won't say it could have gone either way, though it went to 7, but that was a really good series of which the Nuggets were without a head coach amongst the general manager, went to 7. Then you played a Timberwolves team, which Shady knows, I know, James knows. They all have weaknesses. Is there a world where we could suggest the Pacers' path was more difficult, at minimum, as difficult? Sure, there were injuries. Sure, Dame Lillard was hurt. Is there a path where we can say the Knicks, the Cavs, them other boys?
No. I respect you beating the Knicks, right? But the Cavs seem banged up. You got them not 100%. And then the Bucks, I didn't think much about the Bucks. Did you? I know you like your boy.
No, I like Giannis.
You know what I'm saying? But the Thunder, we beat a really, really good team and the Nuggets. Yeah. And then the bad teams we played, we beat on them. See, I respect that. Right? They say, that team is not as good. Cool. Then we're going to treat them as such. And that's why they beat the Wolves like they beat them, because they weren't as good.
Beat them down.
Man, if you think it's going to be a serious trip.
I'm trying to make this.
I'm over here trying to think, too, like, how can they win? Like, I'm like, does Halliburton have to be like this dude we ain't never seen? Or like
be in the body bag.
Here's the how, though. Here's the how. I was thinking about this
They
morning.
can't wait to get him.
Here's the how is, and I was trying to convince Shady of this before the Knicks series, because Shady was adamant, more different so, but Shady was adamant that the Knicks were going to beat the Pacers down. With the Pacers, not only could it be anybody, it could be anybody with a career night, and that's what it has to be. The Pacers won game 1 against the Knicks because Naismith had a career day. 6 threes, 30 points, career quarter, career day. Pacers won game 2 against the Knicks because Siakam had a career day. 39 points, career high. Yeah. Pacers won game 4 against the Knicks because Halliburton had a career day. 30 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds. The Pacers won that series because 3 different people didn't have good games, didn't have great games. They had career games, the best games of their careers up until this point. I think, Shady James, that's the how. It's Nembhard, are you going to have a career day? Are you going to somehow have 32 points? Pascal, are you going to have 45 somehow, some way? Naismith, are you going to do it? Miles Turner, are you going to go for 35? Are you going to go 8 for 11 from 3 this game in some fashion? I think it's going to take career days by different
watch
people.
How they,
I was just about to say that.
I'm trying, Shady.
Don't watch them play defense. Okay.
I was just about to say that, like, as a game plan for the Pacers offensively, though, like, they was trying to get Brunson. Yeah. Who are you trying to get?
Hopefully Chet. Chet. Probably on Pascal. I think if I can get Chet on Pascal, I think and try to body him.
You seen Chet block shots and move his feet?
But I'm gonna try to body him.
They all try to body him.
Or if they put Hartenstein on Pascal, I'm gonna try to go to work there. Or I'm gonna try to, if they put Hartenstein on Miles Turner, take him out for 3.
So now you've seen what they did against the Nuggets. What if they take Hartenstein out and bring in Caruso?
That's a great question. That's when I think they're in a world. I don't know if there's an answer.
But in the end, it was a great pace, though. Great start. Hey, I like it. You went to the finals, though. It's okay. Sometimes you go against somebody that's better. It's a lot better. And you did a great job. Like, see, that's why I hate when James be talking about, it's either championship or bust. Sometimes, James.
Not for the Pacers.
You know?
Hey, speaking of championship or bust, Josh Allen, he won the MVP award last year, but someone suggests it's all for naught if he does not get the ultimate hardware. That is the Super Bowl. Is it Super Bowl or bust for Josh Allen here in the facility? That
franchise.
Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
Hey, Hey, Josh Allen won MVP last season, but he's not satisfied. The Bills' offensive coordinator said when Allen walks in the building, you don't see a guy who won MVP. He added that Allen is hungry and is trying to get even better. James, Josh Allen has won a lot of things in his NFL career, finally won MVP, but what he has yet to win is a Super Bowl. I know you won one during the course of your career with the quarterback and Aaron Rodgers, incredibly talented. You have an interesting opinion on this question. Is it a Super Bowl or bust season for Josh Allen?
It is, man. I think from here on out in Joshua's career, it is Super Bowl or bust for Josh, man. Josh is that type of player we all know. Josh just won his first MVP. We all know. Josh's team last year, none of us gave him a chance, and he ended up in the AFC Championship game. Josh Allen is a Hall of Fame player, and we always talk about tables and all this type stuff. If he does not win a championship, he cannot sit at certain tables, and he is too special for that. You cannot keep coming up here saying, is this the year for Josh Allen to win the Super Bowl? Is this the year to Josh Allen to win the Super Bowl? Because if you keep on saying that, Josh Allen going to be 35. And we can't keep saying he's going to win the Super Bowl. So for me, he has to, every year from here on out until he wins one. Once he wins one, Josh Allen, he play with house money. Go win you another MVP. Go do what you got. But until he wins one, in my humble opinion, every year is Super Bowl or nothing for Josh Allen. He's that type talent, and he showed me it don't matter who on his team from last year that he could get to certain games. So it's Super Bowl or bust for here on out with a special player and Josh Allen.
Go ahead, Shady.
I know where he feels. I know how he feels. That's why he's smiling.
So I just look like who all win a championship? See, that sounds cool, right? But who else is winning championships?
Patty.
It's a small.
Jalen. Stafford.
Brady.
You see how it's broken down?
Brady gone now.
So if every quarterback had to like, oh, well, it's a bust this year if you don't win a championship, it'd be all bust. Everybody would be bust. James, I hear you, bro. But I just think it's hard to win championships. And
it's very hard. We know that.
I'm going to say no. He's 29 years old. He's still in his prime. And we watched him take a team like the Bills last year that I didn't really expect much from. We didn't even talk about even winning the division. They did more than that. Winning the ACC championship game, right? So I just think he has a couple years. There's a lot of quarterbacks that didn't get their stuff off, James, in the first couple years. It take a little time.
I know it do.
You know what I mean? Hey, look. Some players, you know, it might be the first day, second day. Other players, it might take 2 weeks.
First day, second day for
2 months. 3 months.
For what?
4 months.
Confused as to what? First day to second day?
If it's Ancho, might take a year. Let me stop. But it takes some time. That's all.
I hate you, LaShawn McCoy. I'm actually with you on this one, Jay. But the reason I'm with James on this one is because Josh Allen is so good, he's qualified to be criticized. I say this all the time. Chase, if you put out a quarterback take that's controversial, people going to come at you. Mm-hmm. But if Ronald Daniel puts out one, they're not going to come at him. They haven't qualified to be criticized. They're just some random name that I just randomly made up that doesn't have enough attention. You qualified to be criticized because you played 14 years in the league, and people respect your opinion enough to be mad at it. Mm-hmm. If they didn't respect it, they wouldn't be mad at it. I respect Josh Allen's game enough to put him in a Super Bowl or bust conversation. I'm not having this conversation about Justin Fields. I'm not having it about Trevor Lawrence. I'm not having it about Tua Tagovailoa right now. I'm not even having it about Herbert. I'm not putting them in those conversations. Playoff or bust for those guys. Hey, the bar's not that high for y'all right now. Playoff or bust. But Josh Allen, I respect you enough to put you in this conversation that I would put Lamar Jackson in and Joe Burrow in. I'll say it like this also. One secret we keep about Tom Brady, as great as he is, and he is the greatest ever, is that his division was awful. Yeah. The Jets could barely find a quarterback. The Bills could never find a quarterback. And the Dolphins could never find a quarterback. That's where Josh Allen is right now. The Patriots haven't had a good quarterback since Brady left. We're hoping it's Drake May. The Dolphins' Tua Tagovailoa has simply been plagued by injuries. And then the Jets haven't had a good quarterback since Mark Sanchez. So Josh Allen has won the division 5 times in a row because that division is terrible and he's good. Or you could invert it in because he's really good and that division is terrible. Bro, capitalize. Tom Brady did. He did so much that he won 17 division titles in 19 years. He did so much that he won 6 Super Bowls in New England alone. So, Josh, capitalize. I started television here at Fox 5 years ago. And at that time, my co-hosts were telling me, Josh Allen's young. He's got time. It's been 5 years. I don't want to be having these conversations 5 years from now. Josh Allen's young. He's got time. I was young, but now I'm old. What am I doing with it?
I couldn't disagree more. I'm squarely squarely on Shady's side on this because, as Shady mentioned, he's only 29 years old. So he is still in his prime, and he has plenty of years left to contend. So I can't say it's Super Bowl or bust. What I can say is it's beat Mahomes in the playoffs or bust. That's what it is for Josh Allen. And I say that because if you look at the AFC conference, just the conference of the AFC, 9 of the last 11 Super Bowls, it's been Brady or Mahomes. Okay, and Brady's not playing. Yeah. Mahomes is the one that they have to beat. Josh Allen in his record versus Patrick Mahomes in the regular season, he's 4-1. He knows how to beat the Chiefs in the regular season. I read this stat, and I can't believe he's 0-4 in the postseason versus Patrick Mahomes, and he's been eliminated. The Buffalo Bills have been eliminated in 4 of the last 5 seasons by the Kansas City Chiefs. If you look at the whole conference, that's the only thing holding him back. Yeah. So he has to find a way to get through Patrick Mahomes because even, like, the thing is about Josh is I could say Super Bowl bust, I could say this, I could say that. When the games matter the most, Josh Allen's star is the brightest. True. In the playoffs, look, he's played 13 playoff games. He's averaging 310 total yards a game and has 25 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. 25 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Even in the Chiefs games last year, it came down to the last play, 4th down. And I agree. I just think that if they don't get there this year, he has a chance to next year because just how talented he is. And he has a chance to next year. He's just now getting into his prime. He could play 10 more years. You just got to find a way around Mahomes.
Okay, yeah, so let me say, so you're really on our side because let me say this. Because Patty's 29.
Yeah.
All right? At Patty's worst, Shady, because he just said Josh has to beat Patty. At Patty's worst, where is he?
That's a good point. Championship game. So if you beat Patty, you're going to the Super Bowl.
Come
or
on,
someone
man.
else beat him.
But we can't keep saying
but I view this Super Bowl. That's a great point. But I view Super Bowl or bust, and maybe I'm different. It's like, oh, throw the whole season away. It's wasted. There's no chance you're going to even get close to getting there again. That's how I view Super Bowl or bust. Like Super Bowl, but like. As long as Josh Allen is a quarterback for the Buffalo Bills,
I view it different.
The window is completely open.
See, I view it
for a
different.
championship.
From the outside in, again, I always suggest try to lead with humility, at least on this show. Shady's won a couple Super Bowls, Chase and James, I haven't. So I'm speaking from the outside in. I can only imagine that Aaron Rodgers thought after 2010 when they won the Super Bowl, hey, we doing this again. I can only imagine after starting 15-1, James said, we doing it again. Then random nonsense happens, they lose to the Giants, but still the next year, we doing this again. Then I can't imagine we doing this again. I can't imagine when the Packers were leading the Seahawks in 2014 and the Seahawks are about to kick an onside kick that Rodgers is like, oh, yeah, we doing this again, Super Bowl. I don't want to make a living out of Josh Allen is young, he's got time. Aaron Rodgers probably thought he had time in 2010, and he hasn't been to the Super Bowl since. So that's the only reason I'm saying a Super Bowl or bust, Shady and Chase, is like, you just never know when that window is closed.
That should tell you how hard it is to win. Right? And I keep saying this. So you tell me every quarterback that don't win a Super Bowl is a waste of year when nobody's really winning championships? Think about that for a second.
Mahomes. I do.
And then even Stafford. You keep saying, man, Stafford won a championship at 33 years old, his first one.
Year 13.
You get what I'm saying? Like, John Elway. I was start thinking about some of the older guys that we all respect, Hall of Fame guys. John Elway didn't win them right away. Yeah. He lost a couple before he even won one. This is for John. Remember that? The whole little...
Yeah.
So it's like, can we go back to when we was playing how hard it is to win a championship? Think about that, though. You had one of the best quarterbacks of all time play with you.
Yeah.
How many he only seen it once. Yep. Chase, you played behind Drew Brees.
So when we only seen it once.
Yeah. Yep.
So when we talk about this Super Bowl thing, like, let's be real mindful of how hard it is to really do.
It is.
My two I got blessed with, they saved me with, was Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. They talk about these guys as top 3 best of all time. So can we slow that down, please? Can we think about that?
Yeah, I'm with you. Let me say this, though, because Chase brought up a good point, because he said he views Super Bowl or bust like you're never going to get, never going to have a chance to get.
Like the window's closed. That's how I
the window's closed. See, I view it as if you're walking into training camp this year and you have a Super Bowl caliber team and you don't win it, that's a bust to me. That's how I
But what if your team is not Super Bowl?
That could be a disappointment.
Then I don't put you in that conversation.
His team ain't no Super Bowl great
There's
team.
like 4 or 5.
His team is better than last year. He went to the AFC Championship.
Hold up.
Is what I'm saying.
And what I'm telling you is, before the year even started, I watched you tell me, and I watched me tell you, hey man, this team ain't going nowhere.
Last year.
Okay. So was you saying?
And we seen this dude.
But last year you would say that
it wasn't Super Bowl or bust for Joshua. Last year.
You say every year.
No. See, you're not listening to me.
But they lost to the divisional round versus
No,
Chiefs.
you're not listening to me. If you're walking into training camp with a Super Bowl caliber team, that's why last year we argued because I said a Super Bowl bust for Lamar. I said that. He was walking into training camp with Derrick Henry and all these really good team. Patty, we said he ain't gonna win the division. That's Aaron Rodgers' division. We ain't see Aaron Rodgers playing the Jets uniform. Right. That's what we was saying last year. This year, what we seen him do with that team last year, it is Super Bowl or bust because you're walking into training camp with those expectations and the type of team.
But it's also how well he played.
I got to take us to break, Chase. More good stuff on this show. Hey, when we return, Caleb Williams is on to year 2 with the Bears. So what is most important for his success? We're breaking it all down. Probably the most fun conversation of the show after the break. That's next.
All right, listen up. The only gift that any dad wants on Father's Day is Goldbelly. Goldbelly ships the most iconic foods from the best restaurants across the country straight to his door for free. Let him kick back and chow down on award-winning barbecue from Texas, epic deep dish pizza from Chicago, or colossal pastrami sandwiches from New York. Make Dad feel like an absolute legend this Father's Day and go to goldbelly.com to get 20% off your first order with promo code DAD. That's 20% off at goldbelly.com, code DAD.
Caleb Williams' rookie season is over. Now it's on to year 2. The Bears are in mandatory minicamp this week, but we're looking at the regular season because we got to ask some questions to figure out what is the most important thing for Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is an absolute phenom, but unfortunately did not have the rookie season he was supposed to have. So that got us thinking, in year 2, what is most important for Caleb? Shady, I'll start with you. We're going to go around the horn. It's going to be quick. It's going to be fun. Hopefully it's very enthralling and captivating. What's more important for Caleb, reaching the playoffs or making the Pro Bowl?
Pro Bowl. Yeah, that team, playoffs is a team thing. You could have 2,000 yards and make the playoffs. Pro Bowl for me.
I like that. I'm going to go with the playoffs. I'm saying playoffs because, Caleb, if you make the playoffs, at least that will quiet some of the noise going into year 3. Right now, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, they both made the playoffs as rookies. Caleb, I'm going to say playoffs.
Playoffs, no doubt for me. I'm going to go with the team first thing, and if the guy is playing good ball and getting him to the playoffs, there's a chance he's going to go to the Pro Bowl. So you can be a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback and have all the stats in the world, but not have the win.
Yeah, the only Pro Bowler up here on this desk. I mean, he really don't even respect certain dudes that get into the Pro Bowls nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of easy to get up in there, playoffs, man. Because if you're playing at the Pro Bowl level, and you should be able to get in the playoffs. Yeah, so I'm gonna say playoffs.
Yeah. Okay, this one's fun for me. No Bears quarterback in history has ever thrown for 4,000 yards, ever. Shady McCoy, what's more important, 4,000 yards for Caleb or 10 wins?
I watched last year. I'm going to say 4,000 yards. I watched last year. They won a game by defense, turnovers, and special teams.
Yeah.
He had nothing to do with that. They talk about, Caleb Williams took him for a win. No. Go out there and get you 4,000 yards. Do something that's never been done before, please.
Ding, 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 ding. 4,000 yards. If you get 4,000 yards, you're etched in Bears history, even if you retire the next day. If you get to 10 wins, Mr. Trubisky did that year 2, went 12-4. They went to the playoffs. Go 4,000 yards.
So the only way I think he gets 4,000 yards is if they're losing a bunch of games and they got 6 wins, and then so now you're like, Caleb, you have 6 wins.
Stop with the further hypothetical.
10 wins. I'm a team.
10 wins. You know what? I had 10 wins on my paper, but y'all switched my answer.
No, you can't switch it.
This is history.
You can't switch it.
This is history. The Bears have won 10 games before. This is history.
10 wins, James.
Hey, bro. Hey, start audible it now. Get out them run plays. Sorry, Swift. I need to get this 4,000.
Here's what's fascinating. Last year, Caleb didn't throw a lot of interceptions, but he didn't try to throw the ball in the coverage a lot. He didn't force anything. He didn't throw many touchdowns. 30 touchdowns would also be a Bears franchise record. Shady McCoy, 30 touchdowns or less than 10 interceptions.
I'm a positive guy. I try to be. Sometimes people just drink me out, but I'm trying to be positive. So I'm going to say 30 touchdowns. I don't even think about no picks. 2 picks, 3 picks, no. All touchdowns.
I'm going to say 30 touchdowns as well because I don't care if it's 30 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Move the ball down the field. Get Luther Burton's involved.
Get Rome
Odunze
involved.
Get DJ Moore involved. Get your first-round pick, Colston Loveland, involved. There are too many weapons for the Chicago Bears. If you don't have 30 touchdowns, there's a lot of disappointed people.
I just know firsthand what it feels like
Don't
to
take
throw an
away.
interception. There's no worse feeling in the world, so I went less than 10. It's the worst feeling in the world.
And you know what's
the whole team.
You know what's the greatest feeling?
Touchdown!
You know, when you moss a dude, give me that.
Right.
You know, and it's touchdown. Listen, man, we used to always tell Aaron Rodgers, hey, you got drafted in the first round because you were special at throwing that ball.
Yeah, I picked the wrong one.
We got drafted because we were special at going to get that ball. Throw that ball up over here, bruh. We won't let it get intercepted. Ours or nobody's. Throw that ball. 30 touchdowns. Throw that ball to these star receivers out there, man, and let them go make plays.
Hey, this last one's a good one. If Caleb got an MVP vote, that would be special. But you could suggest he's in the best division in football with the Packers, the Lions, and the Vikings. So, Shady, what's more important? Caleb getting an MVP vote, just a vote, not winning it all. Getting a vote or winning the division?
Let's get a vote. Listen, man, when I watch all type of quarterbacks just win a division by playing with the team. Guys get hurt, backup come in there, he wins games because of the team. Sometimes you number one pick, it can't be about the team, it gotta be about you.
That's fair.
That's true.
That's fair.
Come on now.
That's fair. I'm with my dog 2-5 on this one. Get an MVP vote. Get an MVP
You're
vote.
saying this just because you're an MVP voter.
That would be fun. But if he gets a vote, that means in perception at minimum, he had a phenomenal year and we're thinking better of him. I care about Caleb right now more than I do the Bears, with all due respect. Get you a vote.
I strongly disagree with that because I think it's win the division, and I'll tell you why, because this division is the best division in football. If you win division, you're probably going to have to reach 14 wins. If you reach 14 wins in a division in your second year with a first-year head coach, you're probably getting an MVP vote. You're probably in the consideration of All-Pro. Like, that's just how it works with quarterbacks, so I want to win division.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, I would not bet for him to win the division. But I would bet for him to get an MVP vote. And if you get an MVP vote, that lets you know and the world know that he's like that. And the Bears have their franchise quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years. You're not winning the division this year. The odds are against you to win your division. The Packers, the Lions, the Vikings in that division, that's going to be tough. But you can be special because that's in your hands. You can be special and go get your MVP vote.
He said one MVP vote, and he's the franchise guy for the next 10 years?
Next 10 years.
I know a bunch.
That got one.
And when we talk about him,
He's still the franchise guy.
For now, he's still got 60 million.
Hey, when we return, must win, must win. Those are the most scary words in all of sports. But it's game one. Is it already a must-win game for a team that has no chance, they say, of winning the final? That's next. NBA Finals, it all starts tonight after 82 games of a regular season and 16 games thus far in the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken, for both teams, 12-4, 12-4 records. Now this is what you do it for the hardware that we can never forget. Small market this, small market that. You better be watching live sports, NBA Finals. Legends are born right here, right now, tonight in the playoffs. James, the Pacers are given no chance. Given no chance by you, given no chance by Shady, given no chance by America. It has nothing to do with James and Shady McCoy, how they feel about the Pacers. This is the consensus decision. But is it already a must-win game for the Pacers tonight?
No, it's not a must-win for the Pacers. I'm going to give them a little bit of respect and say it's not a must-win because you still do have 2 games after.
Now you want to give them respect?
Yeah, I mean,
you done disrespected them the last block.
I'm confused.
You disrespected them yesterday.
I'm saying must-win. You still get to go home and at least get your one. I ain't going to say this is a must-win, but it is a must-play well and not get beat down. Do not go back to your hotel out there in OKC and you lose by 25. At least go out here and play well, and let's get down to the fourth quarter and you lose by 7-8 points in this game. And you can go back to your hotel like, man, if we come back in game 2 and do this, don't walk out of this game losing by 25-30 and we sitting here saying, what do y'all do?
Here's why I think it's a must-win, Jay. If the Pacers are going to, here's why. If the Pacers are going to win this series, we're going to go back and look back at a game and say, dang. Thunder going to say, dang, we let them get that one. Remember when the Clippers lost to the Nuggets? If not for Aaron Gordon getting that tip in at the very last second, the Clippers win that series.
True.
Remember when the Knicks lost in 6 to the Pacers just yesterday? If not for, at the end of that game, and Naismith hitting all them threes at the end of the game, Knicks would have been in game 7. Knicks would have won that series. There's going to be a game that the Pacers are going to have to steal, and I believe that the best game to steal is this game. This is probably the only game you can steal. After this game, the Thunder are going to know exactly what the Pacers are about. They're going to know the pace. They're going to know how Halliburton plays. They're going to know how Siakam plays. So if the Pacers actually want to win this series, and we all know there's not a very good chance that they do, there's going to be that, we shouldn't have let them get that one. I think this is the one they got to get.
Yeah, I agree with Asha. It got to be game one. Listen, you can't win this series. You cannot beat this team. They're better than you.
Correct.
They are better than you, Rock. You can't win. So what do? You got to do something. You got to do something to shake up the deck.
Yeah.
We talk about blackjack. Sometimes I'm losing a blackjack. You know what I do, James? I just say, yo,
facts.
Hey.
Yep.
Or I might just
Why you split them joints?
Because you got to do something
to shake up the deck.
break
I like
this thing
that.
up.
And end up broke.
And I think if you have a chance to beat the Pacers, steal this game one, build some confidence. Or maybe put the pressure on the Thunder. It's nothing worse than when the world thinks we're going to win and then we lose the first game. Oh, my God. We might cause panic. You got to find something to do something to shake up, because if you don't, it's going to be a long series.
Hey, that really did. You just said you both of y'all really have zero respect for the Pacers. Must win in game one.
Yo, shake it up.
That mean you're not giving them, it's over. I don't think we ever said it's a must win.
Though, James, if the Pacers are going to do the unthinkable, then they got to do the unthinkable.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, if they're going to do the unthinkable, and Shady makes a good point. I wish he would have elaborated on it, because I've sat next to him during these situations. There are times where you just getting smacked at the blackjack table. You just getting hit, and you got to do something crazy.
At that table getting
and so it's like, yo, why did you hit that soft 19? In all honesty, bro, dealer showing a face card, I got to do something. And you pulled a deuce.
Yeah.
So why in the world did you just split them 2 9s and the dealer showing a 7? Like, just stay at 18 and I got to shake up the deck. Hey, why'd you just add another hand? I got to shake up the deck. In order to do what's not supposed to be done, I think you got to do the unimaginable.
See, I would agree with you guys if it was in Indy. If we thought OKC was this much better than the Pacers and this game was in Indy, I would say it's a must-win. But on the road, you already outnumbered.
Do you think that the Thunder's going to win the game in Indiana?
Absolutely. I think there's going to be a gentleman's
So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be everybody's against us, and they know they're not burning these boys. I always tell people this: you watching tape. Now, as a competitor, you always have that competitive nature. Like, we going to win.
No doubt.
But when you watch it, like, for us to win, I'm going to need you to do good. And I know you normally don't do good, but this game, you need something to happen. Because if not, if they go into this regular Pacers, regular Thunder, man, we're going to be on vacation.
To Shady's question to you, James, the Pacers, to win the series, have to win at some point one game in Oklahoma City. Because you play 4 games in OKC, and you're only going to play, 3 in Indiana.
Yeah.
So at some point, you're going to have to win one. But this is the best one to win.
But they going to figure some stuff out, too. They're going to play game one, probably lose. And then they're going to say, like Tibbs said, you go to the bench, you come in the game. They're going to have to figure some stuff out, too. That's what I'm saying. I don't think game
Ain't nothing to figure out.
That's what figure out. It's some stuff to figure out.
Things got to take.
How do they steal game one, though? Because, like, football terms, like, if you're playing against a better team, you're like, hey, we got surprise on side.
I told you.
Go for it on 4th down. We're like, how do you think they steal game one?
That's a really good point. Number one, I think the threes have to fall. That's not a surprise on side thing. That's just Naismith, Nembhard. They shoot, I think, 46+% from 3 in the playoffs thus far. Threes got to fall. The only other thing I'm wondering is, like, do you try to out-endure the Thunder team? Meaning, like, do you try to pick them up full court? Do you try to wear them down? Do you try to say that, hey, we know you're deep, we're deeper? Y'all play about 8, 9. We play a 10 for real. Like, we play a true 10 players. Do you try to say, hey, TJ, when you in there, pick up Shea full court. Hey, when you in there, Hallie, everybody full court. Toppin, Mathurin, everybody, and just like...
That give me a little hope.
As much as possible.
What I'm saying. A couple of things. Yo, I'm going to let SGA do everything. You know what?
Let him score 50.
He got to score 50 points to beat us. Nobody else is getting no extra buckets. We're going to lock everybody else up and let SGA burn himself out and just score. Yeah. And if you can score 60, 70, then you got it.
Yeah.
Every game you got to do that. And I think they got to beat him on the fast pace.
Yeah.
The breakaways and all that. Because I feel like they push the pace crazy. So do we. We got to do it better. You play defense, you let SGA do his thing, and let's see what happens. But Jay Will can't go for 30. He can't handle 30.
Yeah.
Chet can't go handle 25.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the only way I can see.
Hey.
Oh, and the last thing is
two good players,
Halliburton, though. Yo, listen, you're not the MVP of the league, But you're our MVP. We look at your MVP, him or Siakam. I need y'all to play just as well as SGA.
Yeah.
Think about that though, because we don't have a shot if you don't.
No doubt.
He the MVP of the league. We need you the MVP of this series.
Hey, that's two good strategies though. I hope the coach was listening to you. Hey, man.
You know what? I'm gonna get his number.
Still game one. That's what
Speaking
gotta go
of
down.
the coach with great strategies, Kevin O'Connell, you could suggest the coach of the year. Nobody has greater strategies than he, but his strategy right now is starting J.J. McCarthy on a team that's poised to win a Super Bowl. Who's under more pressure? Is it the quarterback who's never started a game, or is it the head coach who's trusting that quarterback? That's next. The facility.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
J.J. McCarthy expected to be the Vikings starter after missing his whole rookie season. But we're also looking at head coach Kevin O'Connell. He's won coach of the year, but he hasn't gotten the Vikings past the wild card round. O'Connell's chase would have made what you would suggest is a risky decision at best.
Yeah.
Starting a rookie quarterback, you could suggest, in J.J. McCarthy never taking a start, even though he has a team that is already poised by talent and the roster to win a Super Bowl. More pressure on Kevin O'Connell or on J.J. McCarthy?
This is a toss-up. This was when you asked this question, I went back and forth. I think ultimately it's J.J. Though I think the onus falls on the quarterback. Kevin O'Connell, while he won Coach of the Year, while he did all this, he agreed to an extension in January, he still doesn't want a playoff game.
Yeah.
But he has taken two different quarterbacks and had extremely good seasons with them, and Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins. He even went 2-2 with Josh Dobbs as a starter when Dobbs got there on a Thursday and won a game on a Sunday. So we know he can do it. Now, when you talk about JJ, right, 10th overall pick, first-round talent, all this stuff, he wasn't asked to do a whole bunch at Michigan, won a lot of games there. And I think that's why they ended up really liking him. He has that it factor. Now, he played one game in the preseason. He played well. But you're telling me that you have a Ferrari of a team in Minnesota with tons of big-name guys, the best receiver in football, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkins, Aaron Jones. They trade for Jordan Mason. They get all the right pieces in the offensive line and defensive line. You have what I would suggest a Super Bowl caliber roster. They're hoping that J.J. can be thrust into this position and have 70% of the season that Sam Darnold did last year. So there's going to be some growing pains, and I think that JJ, the pressure comes from internally, because if you really look at it, like he's like, I need to have a season like like Sam Darnold did last year. I need to do that. So intrinsic pressure is real. This was a good question. I think ultimately it falls to the player on the field to get the job done.
Yeah, it's not close. It's not close at all. It is the quarterback, and it is J.J. McCarthy. So we got Kirk Cousins and Nick Mullins. They 13-4 record, went to the playoffs. You 2-2 with Josh Dobbs. Not a lot of people think highly of Josh Dobbs as an NFL quarterback, but you was able to win 2 games with him. Sam Darnold, you can think of what you want to think about Sam Darnold. He went 14-3, right? So with all that being said, what can we say about Kevin O'Connell if J.J. McCarthy's not good? The play calling? It was good enough for Kurt and Sam Darnold to win 14 games and they had some of their best years. What can we say? You can't go to play calling. You can't say it's the coach's fault. You cannot say it's the playmakers around him, because the playmakers around him went to work with Nick Mullins, went to work with Kirk Cousins, went to work with Sam Darnold. You can't say none of that. It all is going to come back to the quarterback. You can't sit up here and say, oh, what play is Kevin O'Connell? The same plays he called for Sam Darnold, the same plays he called for Kirk Cousins. It is going to fall back on J.J. McCarthy to ball out. All the pressure's on you strictly because every quarterback that has been in Kevin O'Connell's system has had success. And you can't be our first-round quarterback coming in his system and not have success. All the pressure's on this young fella to ball out and play well. I don't think any of the pressure's on Kevin O'Connell strictly because he's shown that he can get any and every quarterback to play well.
Yeah, I think the only reason why I struggled with this one is not because of what Kevin O'Connell's done on the field. I think it was because of the offseason, picking the guy to be the starter when you have a franchise roster around him, meaning Kevin O'Connell entrusted J.J. McCarthy to be the quarterback. So if they don't have a good season, they're going to have to start from scratch.
Well,
that's my only thing I wrestle with.
Who was super excited when he entrusted Sam Darnold?
That's a good point. Nobody.
And he got all these dudes.
It's different. $10 million for 1 year versus
but I'm just
the first
saying quarterback play-wise.
Yeah. Here's what's interesting. To me, it's McCarthy. I think it's McCarthy. I don't think it's particularly close because McCarthy is the one who we're still trying to figure out how good he is.
What he is.
We know O'Connell's a great coach. We just know he is. He's already proven it time after time after time. He's proven that he's a great coach. McCarthy, we don't know nothing about you. I didn't think you were all that good in college. You had a great preseason game. You had a great preseason pass. But McCarthy, who are you as a quarterback in the National Football League? Furthermore, James, we bring up good points regarding Sam Darnold. Remember, Sam Darnold started that whole season, if we're being honest, by force, not necessarily by choice. Nobody thought Sam Darnold was going to start all 17 games before the season started. J.J. McCarthy, like Chase said, would have started at some point in time. Yeah. The average quarterback drafted in the first round starts by week three. So if J.J. McCarthy was healthy last year, Darnold not starting that whole year. So, McCarthy, you're the chosen one. Darnold was the forced one. You were the chosen one. What you gonna do, chosen one? To me, that's where the pressure is.
Yeah, and I think the biggest difference is just the team. Like, who's still there? It's kind of basically the same team.
Yeah.
Just that you remove Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold, we all know how we felt about him. So it's got to be JJ for me. And it's not even like a big pressure deal because he is a rookie. No. This is his first time starting, so we just want to see what he has. You know, the GM, the head coach, like, okay, do we have something here for the future? Do we not? And I think all those things is why it is some pressure. But I just think if Sam Darnold could come in here and play the way he's played, you gotta show me something though, JJ. Like, you can't be awful, you know, because I've seen awful quarterbacks do well with Kevin O'Connell. That's why he has no pressure. It's all on JJ.
Final thought, Chase.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I mean, obviously, I think it's JJ. I just go back to, like, man, you entrusted this Ferrari of a team who's a Super Bowl contender to a guy that hasn't played. Now, I know you drafted him, and you got to develop him, but you had a chance to go out. You had to get Aaron Rodgers, and I'm just wondering if this season doesn't go as planned, are they looking back on like, maybe, you know, we're just one quarterback away.
So
that's all I'm saying.
If JJ struggles, you think they're going to blame O'Connell?
He's the one who drafted him. Right? I think they might feel pressure from the outside being like, well, you could have had X, Y, and Z, but you chose McCarthy to run the show. If McCarthy doesn't do well, why didn't you pick these guys? I think it's an obvious question. Now, Kevin O'Connell has proven himself. Nothing's going to happen to him. He just signed a huge deal in January. But I think could be the conversation. I do think
there should be frustration from players within the locker room. That's what I love about this show is like, if I'm a defensive player, if I'm Andrew Van Ginkel, say I'm Brian Flores and I'm charging up that defense, as much as they did last year, Sam Darnold, praise God, he was great. But I'm going to be real upset and vexed if, we got a window. We got a window. Don't waste the window again. We wasted a year with Sam Darnold. Thank God Sam Darnold turned out all right. Now we're going to waste another year with J.J. McCarthy. So it's 2 years. Y'all know NFL.
But what about the business part of it, though? So even if whoever you are in that locker room, you know when you draft a quarterback, let alone in the top 10 draft, you know they're going to play.
Correct.
Yep. And you know it's built around him.
It's going to have to be, for sure.
It just, I guess you know it just doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we won't know until
there's situations where it's like, I know this is going to happen. I wish this wasn't the case, but we'll see. Because, JJ, if Sam Darnold can ball out what Sam Darnold did his first 6 years in the league, the sky's the limit for you. Hey, when we return, Patrick Mahomes said, he said losing the Super Bowl might have been a good thing. Losing the Super Bowl, giving the Chiefs extra motivation after their loss was actually a blessing in disguise? Hold on. We got to talk about that next episode. The Chiefs fell short on a three-peat at the Super Bowl. Obviously, we all witnessed that, along with 120 other million people. Hey, they just finished their latest OTA session. That's off-season team activities. And the focus is clearly on getting back to the big game, so says Patrick Mahomes.
When you lose the Super Bowl, I think there's sometimes in those workouts where you may be a little tired. You have that extra added motivation to finish even harder, finish even stronger. And I think it'll be good for us at the end of the day. I mean, obviously, looking back, you want to win the game, but a lot of these guys hadn't ended the season on a loss that are on this team now. So I'm sure they'll be motivated to go back out there and try to find a way to get to the Super Bowl and win it this year.
Shady, you don't know how it feels to lose a Super Bowl. You know how it feels to win a couple, though. Patrick Mahomes, he won you your first Super Bowl. Do you think this loss was a blessing in disguise somehow?
Listen, man, listen. I know it's my birds and all that, but Pat won my Super Bowl, so
respect.
That it, dog. Yeah. You know what? I get what he's trying to say, though. Maybe I feel like sometimes with losses is lessons, right? And maybe you learn from these things. I thought he could have been better in that Super Bowl game.
Yeah, very true.
I thought he could. I never seen him play that bad, right? For his choice. You know, sometimes I watch certain games where maybe they don't play well. He might have a mistake or two, but normally it's like the lineman's messing up or something. Now, he played bad. Let's just keep it real. And I think that as a team, when you've been on that high horse for so long, you might need somebody to bring you down a little bit, right? Okay, you guys are a little arrogant, a little cocky, and bring you down to our level a little bit. And that might have been a wake-up call, not just from him, but a lot of the teams. And when you're so good for so long, you think we can lose? We've been here before. We know how to win. And they lost. So I do think that might have been a lesson. But that's Pat. I mean, what think about Pat? He going to be there again.
Fair. Lesson, absolutely. Blessing in disguise, absolutely not. A blessing in disguise typically implies, like, something better happened. She breaks up with you, but you end up with the woman of your dreams. The woman of your dreams is better. There's a blessing in disguise, a breakup. But if it don't end up no better, it wasn't a blessing in disguise. And what's better than winning a Super Bowl? Winning 2. So you got to go win 2 Super Bowls for the lost Super Bowl to be a blessing in disguise. The only thing better than winning 1 is winning 2 as it pertains to Super Bowls. So it's impossible nearly for it to be a blessing in disguise unless Mahomes, along with that whole team from last year, goes on to win 2 more Super Bowls. But the whole team from last year is no longer together because some players are gone. So it's impossible for a Super Bowl loss to be a blessing in disguise.
Quick, what if, because you think he's going to win another Super Bowl.
Of course.
Okay.
No question.
So he wins another one, right? And they get to another Super Bowl. He said, hey, y'all remember when we lost to them Eagles? Don't get.
Lesson.
You like, you know what? Yeah, he right. Remember that?
Yep.
Put the tape on.
Yep.
So now I'm saying it. I want to show you. I watched you cry. I watched you cry. I watched you crying and boo-hooing. Why was you doing that? Because you lost to the Eagles. So it might be a sign when everybody, we go next year, we 15 and up, and everybody smelling themselves. We this, we that. Hold up, dog. Andy, let me get that tape. Fair. Keep everybody controlled.
But I wouldn't want to trade 1 Super Bowl win for 1 Super Bowl win. That ain't a blessing in disguise.
Well, you know they going back.
Fair. Got to go back at least 2. Give me 2 of them, James.
You know, my dog C. Wood always used to tell me, man, his one lesson at DB is ain't no catching ends on a good catch. I don't care if it's 1 end, 2 end, 1 end, none of them good. All right, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it ain't never good losing the Super Bowl. It ain't never a blessing in disguise losing the Super Bowl. I understand what Patty's saying. I was looking at it. It's crazy to me for he got dudes on his team that's been on that team for 3 years and they never finished the year with a loss.
That's what he said. Yes.
Like, just think of that, though. You got dudes that's going into their 3rd year, and this was their first year losing the year with a loss.
In the year,
That's a blessing. That is crazy. So it is no blessing in disguise. We just talked about how hard it is to win Super Bowls, and we know Patty been to plenty of them. But whenever you lose one, it is no blessing in disguise because it is extremely hard to get back there. A lot of things got to go right to get back there. Yes, Patty will be back there, but no, it's not a blessing in disguise. You had a chance to three-peat, and no, nothing.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody ever did that, and I don't know if it's a girl out there better than that. I'm sure a blessing in disguise. I don't know, but that three-peat would have been real nice, and they're not going to accomplish that. So it ain't no blessing in disguise at all.
That's exactly what I feel. I don't think you can call falling short on a three-peat a blessing in disguise because it's never been done in the history of the game. They did something that I don't think anyone's ever done, reaching a Super Bowl, going for a three-peat. So. And that's, I read the article that you were saying, and it is crazy to me because a lot of this team, their younger core, they don't know what losing is.
Yeah.
Like, even the guys that have been there since Pat's been there, like, he's been in 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. Like, that's their floor, is to get to a Super Bowl. So while they lose Super Bowls, right, they've lost it to the Bucs. Now, I agree both tackles were out and hurt. But there was a theme going into that next 2021 season. It was like, we have to get better at offensive line. That is what we have struggled with. And if you look at the Super Bowl from this year, he was sacked 6 times. He didn't play well, obviously. It's the most in his career, and it happened in the Super Bowl. And it was because a lot of it was that left tackle. And you go out, you draft a guy. What did Brett Veach do? You draft a guy in the first round, Josh Simmons from Ohio State, and you trade for Jalen Moore from San Francisco. this team that they have, there's very little, if any, holes. Now, there could be puncture wounds here and there where they have to fill it. That's why they're so good. It's not just always because of the play on the field, but it's the coaching. It's how they construct the roster. They've played like 20-something, almost like 20-something extra games in the playoffs since Mahomes has been there. That's a whole season and a half of extra games. They know what it takes to get there. So for him, it's a lesson, and he's going to be out in front leading it. And if you give Mahomes more fuel to the fire, more motivation, watch out.
Yeah. It's going to be at least another one or two or three or let Patty tell it. Hey, when we return, the number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward, is trying to do something that people haven't done in Tennessee in a while. But can he actually make the Titans relevant? When you go number 1, you got the whole weight of the city, the sports world on your shoulders. Can he carry it? That's next. Cam Ward currently at OTAs. You see him right there. Number 1 overall pick and number 1 on his back. That means he was the best player in the entirety of the NFL draft. Well, with a high draft pick comes high responsibilities. And he says Cam Ward, well, his teammate Calvin Ridley actually said that Cam Ward has that epic mentality, essentially saying like, hey, he's going for gold. Quarterback. We've seen number 1 overall picks like Joe Burrow completely turn franchises around. We've seen number 1 overall picks like Baker Mayfield sputter, have a flash here with Cleveland, but not be able to turn the franchise around. Cam Ward's the number 1 overall pick. It could be great. It could be bad. Can he make the Titans relevant?
Well, I think just by being the number 1 pick, he made the Titans relevant because we're talking on the show. Mm-hmm. Now, the play on the field, he has all the talent in the world. He's still got to go do it, right? And if you look at the Titans offensively, last year they probably should have won more games than they did, and Will Levis, unfortunately, made some pretty bad mistakes throughout the course of the year. But if you look at their weapons, right, Tony Pollard at running back, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Van Jefferson, it's not a bad skill group of players. No. And if you look at what Brian Callahan has done with Joe Burrow, I don't know if, you had mentioned that you thought Brian Callahan was on the hot seat.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree. He's never really had his guy. Well, this is the chance to prove to the entire world that this is your guy, because when you go back and you look at some of the old Joe Burrow offense, the schematically, how they run the football, how they do that. If he can be even remotely what, I don't know, C.J. Stroud or, Jaden Daniels was last year, I just think it's a winnable division. I think a little bit over 500 is a good goal to have. Relevant will take some time if you're talking, hey, get to the championship game, get to the, because just from top to bottom roster-wise, I don't think they're that great. But it is a winnable division. I know the Texans are solid, but after that, Jaguars, new head coach, no one really jumps off the charts in that one. So if Cam can make this jump, I think they're going to have some success offensively. Not sure defensively how good they'll be.
Yeah, well, defensively, last year they were second in total defense.
There you go.
They shouldn't have had the number 1 pick this year. But Will Levis said, I think y'all need it.
Wasn't it Drew Lock, though? Wasn't it Drew Lock who won the Giants game?
It was 3 games to where it's like he just, come on, man. The Bears game on the road, like, he's just like, y'all need Cam. that's what he said. They shouldn't have had the number 1 pick. They should have won about 5-6 games last year if he just do his job. So he definitely can keep them relevant because, like I said, they have the second total defense. And if you get Cam Ward, they got some really good pass catchers. You got Tony Pollard in the backfield. They could make some noise. He can make them relevant. What he can do is you're not going to see Tennessee on your schedule like you used to see certain teams. And Shady talks about it a lot where you see certain teams, I'm going to have 300 this game too. Yeah. They won't be that type game. It will be like, hey, man, Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans, man, they're a solid football team. We still got to make sure we prepare the right way for them. So if he plays well and the defense do what they did last year in total defense, they can make a little noise.
I need more than just total defense, OJ.
I know.
What we omitted was...
What do we omit?
We were 30th in points.
Yeah,
okay, now you get that.
That's because you're quarterback, though. That's why I didn't say that.
30th in points.
Oh, a lot of short fields of picks.
That was one of the most lopsided statistics you'll ever see.
How does that happen?
To James's point, and one part of it is short fields.
Come on, man.
The other part of it is if an offense gets enough of a lead, then they're not getting that explosive. You're just going to run the clock. So it's very hard to see. Cam Ward, because of how mediocre the division is, I think he has a chance to make him relevant. I don't look at this offense, I think, like y'all do. I don't see the potency comparatively. Like, I think Tony Pollard's good. I don't think he's elite. I think Tyler Lockett, that's my dog. He's just older. Calvin Ridley, I think he's a good player. He had one really good season, 1,300 yards 4 years ago. Since then, he's had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. I think it's good. But in a world of teams that have dominant wide receivers, a couple of them, and a world of teams where the running back is starting to have a resurgence, when I look at the Tennessee Titans, I just don't know that Cam Ward has enough. So I think he can make them competitive. We'll see where that goes.
Relevant, right?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, what tells you that? My thing with Cam Ward is when I watch him and I scout him, he does look talented. But how talented? I want to know seriously, though. James asked me the question. I'm like, when did he become so good? This is last year in Miami? I just need more of him to see.
I think that's when he jumped off the screen.
Yeah, right. But I've been watching that and more. And I'm just trying to figure out when did Cam Ward become the number one pick Cam Ward? So I need to see more from him because I see some flashes, but I need to see more of it, man. You talking about changing the Titans? They're a bad team. They're number one pick last year for a reason. That wasn't by accident. So they weren't that good. And I look at this team now, you didn't make a lot of different additions to the squad. Yeah. Other than him going, and some wide receivers here and there. I just got to see it. I hope he does well. But to talk about changing that whole narrative of the Titans, I got them next year being the top draft pick, too.
Oh. No.
Wow. I mean, what change? But real talk, is it the quarterback that's going to change our minds? Is that what it is? A rookie?
I think the quarterback will help everybody.
So this is the thing, though. See, another thing is, I don't know how good Cam Ward really is. I really don't know.
None of us do.
Right? Another thing is, he a rookie. When we just say, it's like, y'all don't learn from it. That's why I don't judge rookies. When Caleb Williams is coming up, I heard everybody say, playoffs. I'm like, whoa, win a division, playoffs? I know he's a generator. Let's wait, though. He's a rookie. It's a whole new game. And you see how that thing played out. I think Cam will play good. I just got to see it to believe it.
Yeah, that's very well said.
Okay to punt, Cam. It's okay to punt.
Yeah, don't be a hero.
That's it.
Don't be a hero. Hey, when we return, it is time for a Blitz meeting. Who do you trust more tonight? Halliburton or SGA? That and so much more here in the facility. The NBA Finals start tonight, and the spotlight will be on the stars. Tyrese Halliburton and MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I do not believe our wardrobe head, Tracy, will be making her debut today on the stage. So it's
pajamas.
Just us up here.
Pajamas.
James is dressed like an adult. That's great. The shoes is fresh. I'm not going to lie.
Appreciate you, brother.
Fresh. Shady always fresh, so no comment needs to be made there. Who do you trust more in Game 1 tonight, Halliburton or SGA?
SGA. Easy. It's not even, don't overthink this.
Yeah.
Take your time and say SGA. Hey. So, one more
Shai
time.
Gilgeous.
One more time.
SGA.
There you go.
Come on, because they're going slow. One more time.
SGA. That's it. That one was easy. That one was easy. Yeah, that was the easiest one of all time. Dolphins wide receiver Jalen Waddle is praising his quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, saying that he looks confident and is coming out with a different swag. Shady, make or break season for Tua Tagovailoa.
Yes, it is. I heard this last year. He looked so great. I need to see it. I was always the first, I don't know if I should pay him. He plays good sometimes, and he's always hurt. And you see what he looks like now.
Man.
Right? I'm just thinking about it. Some things you can't hide is your habits and your patterns.
Yeah.
Y'all tell me.
Dang.
I had to start keeping quiet on Tua. Y'all was working with me long enough to know every day was two of this, two of this, two of that.
Yeah, that's over.
Between the injuries and just the mediocre moments, Tua, yes, it's a make or break season for you. And in large part for me, Chase, it's like, we're not even talking about his play anymore. Now we're talking about his swag. Yeah. And it started last year, if y'all remember. When he changed up his hair, when he got the left arm sleeve, it was like, his swag is different. I don't care about the swag right now. I care about touchdown passes. I care about his health. I care about TD interception ratio. I care about winning games.
Make or break is a strong word.
It is.
For me, because I view that as like, hey, if you're breaking, you're not starting anymore. I think he'll continue to be a starter. But I want it's a must play really well this season. It must win a playoff game. You know who I do think it's a make or break for, though, this year? Mike McDaniel. All this stuff, and you're great offensive mind, great team. You picked Tua, you paid Tua all this money, and you haven't won a playoff game. You haven't played well in the cold.
To James,
you haven't played well away.
To James calling you out 3 blocks ago, let me do the same. If it's make or break for Mike McDaniel, I think it has to be for Tua, because who's Tua without Mike McDaniel? Tua has publicly said, and Mike McDaniel has also said, the reason Tua's been successful is because of Mike McDaniel. Yeah. If you get rid of the head man, You're not keeping a Q, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the reason I say that is if Mike McDaniel gets fired this next year, I don't know if he gets another shot at a head coaching job.
Got it.
Whereas
Tua's going to be
he's going to get a chance to start regardless of the season. Someone will have him.
I don't think so. I don't think so. The worst thing about a player's injuries. The worst thing is we don't know if you're even going to be here. So how am I going to pay you if I don't even know you're going to be here? So if Tua gets hurt again this year, I don't think there's any team in the National Football League that's going to say, come to our team.
From an injury perspective.
But the odds say Patty going to the Super Bowl, AFC Championship, and the odds say Tua going to get hurt. That's just what it say. That's what the odds say.
That's what he does.
During the season, Tua gets hurt plenty of times, 24/7. The answer is absolutely yes. It's make or break. If he gets hurt again, I don't know if Tua plays again in the NFL. I really don't think so.
What do you think the ceiling is for this team? Because it's the weirdest team of all time. They're getting good. They're getting younger.
Where they get good?
I just think in general they have a good quarterback when he plays well.
I think they're going to hover around 10. Yeah.
Right?
I think they're going to hover around 10 wins
That's
again.
not good
Where
enough.
that lands you in the AFC.
It's not good enough.
Yeah, only time will tell.
Number 7 seed?
Hey, Bijan Robinson said he wants to have more explosive plays this season.
Bijan's like that.
About explosive plays. So it got us thinking, 2-5, you started off. Who's the most explosive running back right now in the NFL?
You just seen him. Excuse me, guys. I want to say him because he's super explosive. I'm going to him. Jahmyr Gibbs, boy, he explosive and he's young. You watch him get off, it's a runner, it's a pass, it's something, it's out to the distance. Real fast, real quick.
What I love about this topic in this show, we do not prep it together, but sometimes we have the same answers. Jahmyr Gibbs, it's easy for you, boy.
I think if you're just purely from explosiveness, you look at him out of the backfield, it's Jahmyr Gibbs for me. You look at him from the run, like he is a threat to take the ball every single time.
Wow. Can we all say it? Jahmyr.
Wait, how are you going to do it?
I was going Jahmyr Gibbs. One more time. Jahmyr Gibbs. He like that, dog. He like that, dog.
We've had 3 sweeps in a row.
Tonight, Pacers Thunder, it's time to make our predictions. Who wins the finals, Pacers?
Might as well finish the series off.
Say it with us again.
Come on, man.
OKC.
Wait, hold on.
And that's okay.
Why do we go Oklahoma?
Okay.
Whatever you want to say.
It sounds like it.
That's a little market, dog.
OKC's more slowed down.
OKC.
I don't think we've ever had 4 sweeps in a row in this show. Right. That's right. I don't think we've ever had it.
That was Blitz history.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all could be watching any show. Y'all hung out with us. We don't take it for granted. The Herd, they're going to crush it, and they are up next. That's it for us.